What's up? Come on. Applaud yourself. You're at a graduation. I want to thank the board, administration, faculty behind me, students, family, friends. What a day to celebrate leadership. If someone has not told you this yet today, and I hope they have, I love you a lot. I see you. You are my leader of leaders. I greet you from my ancestral homelands in the Southwest. I bring with you the wisdom of my ancestors, my many communities of belonging. I'm a Christian theologian and recently appointed dean of a 205-year young theological seminary. I was trained here at BU in the mystic and spiritual tradition of Howard Thurman. I trace a curandero lineage through my grandmother, raised in a Chicano Catholic household, native to the land I grew up on, raising Jewish children with my partner, who I was starry-eyed in this room. We met here, who's a practicing Jew, and we are teaching our children to live with the compassion and love because our people, indigenous, Jewish, Chicano, have faced attempted genocide, and we are still here, ready to heal and love. This is a day of graduation. It's my favorite time of year because as someone who studies meaning and purpose, how people find their many vocations, this is a time when I hear the worst advice given and the dumbest question said repeatedly. What are you going to do next? What do you want to do? What is your 5-year plan? I'll tell you briefly why this is a stupid question. The brain can't answer it. Neuroscience has shown us that when we're asked to imagine our future selves, the brain acts as if it's meeting a stranger. Nothing lights up. But there are practices that can help us get around this. Some of the practices I learned in this building, some I brought and bring with me to this place. We'll explore 2 practices today, and both are grounded in the spiritual reservoirs and traditions of our ancestors. They require us to remember the future. The first practice is communal meaning making through our shared stories. This you all do really well as trained scholars, pastors, religious leaders. And I'll demonstrate with our text today, which was an awful text, by the way. I don't know who picked it. I picked it. And the second requires a little more creativity, but I'll lead us in that after. To remember the future, we must go meet our ancestors. So let's go meet them for a minute. Numbers is a leadership text. We have a few main characters, Aaron, Miriam, and Moses. The thing about leadership, and why this question bothers me so much about what do you want to do, is we often don't see who good examples of leaders are. So when we are asked, what do you want to do, the standard names and people just come up. Moses, Aaron, we think they might be good. Today's scripture helps us unlearn that, but I need some help to demonstrate this. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm not that smart and I kind of need to see things. So I need, right here in front, I need someone to volunteer to be my Moses, someone to volunteer to be my Miriam, someone to volunteer to be my Aaron. I need 3 people to stand up. Dean Stone will not sign your degrees unless I get, Dean Pack won't sign your degrees. I need 3 volunteers right now. Thank you. Give them a round of applause. We need one more. So we're going right down the line. So you're my Moses, you're my Aaron, you're my Miriam. Moses, you have, sorry, it's not going to be cool for what happens to you in the next couple of minutes. Let's talk about Moses, someone I think many of us would recognize as a leader. You're a pretty cool dude, most of the time. Someone recognized by God as the one to lead the people, or is he? I want us to look back at the text a little bit. So in Numbers 11, I'm just going to remind you of your words. I'm just looking at the transcript. Moses, in verse 10, Moses heard the people of every family wailing at the entrance to their tents. The Lord became exceedingly angry, and Moses was troubled. He asked the Lord, "Why have you brought this trouble on your servant? What have I done to displease you that you would put the burden of all these people on me? Did I conceive of all these people? Did I give them birth? Why do you tell me to carry them in my arms as a nurse carries an infant to the land you promised an oath to their ancestors? Where can I get meat for all these people? They keep wailing at me. Give us meat to eat. I cannot carry all these people by myself. The burden is too heavy for me. If this is how you're going to treat me, please go ahead and kill me. If I have found favor in your eyes, and do not let me face my own ruin. Brother, man, you complain a lot. We have Moses displaying fragile male patriarchy at its best. He is complaining that this leadership is like raising children. Work he views as women's work. Dude, what is wrong with you, Moses? Like, for reals, man. Moses is so tired of his leadership. When other men step up, this is what happens. A little bit later in chapter 11, 70 elders have the Spirit rest on them. This is like Moses' dream. And Joshua, son of Nun, steps up and says, Moses, he's the one who gets to see the promised land, spoke up and said, Moses, my Lord, stop them. But Moses replied, are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all Lord's people were prophets, and the Lord would put the Spirit on them. Then Moses and the elders of Israel returned to the camp. Here, Moses telling Joshua, let other people take on this work. This is in chapter 11. So maybe, Moses, you're learning, right? Maybe. So what comes next? That's our text for today. So we have Miriam and Aaron who begin to talk against Moses because of his Cushite wife, for he married a Cushite. Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? They ask him. Hasn't he also spoken through us? Good job. Aaron, Miriam, I love y'all. This is the moment, right? This is the moment Moses was asking for. Others, namely his sister, to step up into leadership and care for the people. Miriam is essentially calling her brother out on two things here. The first is, hold up, brother. You have to make a kid. Now, I'm not saying that's the way to do leadership, but that's what the times were. The second is this no manches moment. Is Miriam reminding Moses that she was also called by God? Not unlike the way Moses just celebrated his 70 elder homies in 11. Now let's see how you and God handle this. The Lord replied to Moses, if her father had spit in her face, would she not have been in disgrace for 7 days? Confine her outside the camp for 7 days. After that, she can be brought back. So Miriam was confined outside the camp for 7 days. And I'll get to the end of that verse in just 1 second. Not cool. Miriam, let's go take a walk. How does this feel? What do we know about Miriam? Shout it out. Your degrees again are on the line. What do we know about Miriam? It's a good starting place. All right. Good job. What else? What did Miriam do? Dance? Sing? Joy? What else? How about some family members? Prophetic. You saved his behind as a baby. That's right, you did. I got a question for everyone in the audience. If you had to follow one of these two, who would you follow? If you can move or position yourself with your eyes, your look at the person you would follow. Moses or Miriam? Let's say you do this. Stand up and give Miriam an applause if you can. Stand, give a level. I want to see what's happening here with Miriam. Come on, Miriam. You saved the people. You were first across the river. Miriam, Moses, and Aaron, thank you. You can sit down. Y'all can sit down. Thank you. Verse 15 ends with, and the people did not move for 7 days. The rabbis and many good scholars suggest they did not move because of all the reasons you just yelled out. Miriam was their leader. This is the person that cared for the children, women, elderly, who danced the people to freedom. Miriam is their leader. We just didn't see it in the text or in our lives often. And I want to just point out a few things that happen after, because dudes, don't stop being terrible. Numbers 13, just after you think Moses and Aaron learned their lesson, they send some people out to go conquer some land. Man, colonial buttheads. All right, so then you have Caleb, who signs the people before Moses said, we should go up and take possession of land because we certainly can do it. This is in 13. We have Caleb, full of his machismo, filled with his male bravado, ready to conquer a new land. In Numbers 14, the community, all of you, call out Moses and Aaron. And what do? They get down on their hands and knees. Please, still follow us. We're still your leaders. Men in the face of facts send our people to die. This is a story of the Southwest, where I come from, and the press across this globe. My people, indigenous to this land, have seen men like Moses and Aaron come and go. They have tried to colonize us over and over. They have tried to exterminate my people, both in Europe and here. Male bravado, entitlement, strongman, conquistadors. This tale is as old as time. But I have a secret that you all know. We have Miriam. We have leaders that have helped us survive it all. By doing communal meaning making, we can see who is caring for the community. We can see Miriam and stand up and applause. She is our leader. It is only through community that we survive. There is a reason that in chapter 20, when Miriam dies, that the water dries up. We have to unlearn the forms of leadership we have been conditioned to look to, every single one of us, myself included. So I practice one. To answer this question of what are you going to do next, I beg you, graduates, live into your Miriam years. Sing and dance and find joy. Be present to the moment. Be a witness to your people. Hold leaders accountable, and the community will recognize your leadership. We will see your gifts even in your most troubling times. To remember the future, we have to recover and reclaim our Miriams. We have to reclaim our sense of leadership is about community, and that the milk and honey in their land, despite the way our Sunday school religion may teach us, is not our milk and honey. We got it? Practice one. We're going to do it together? Cool. I want to close with the second practice. To remember the future is to step into it. Now, I know I told each of you we cannot see ourselves into the future, and that's true. But there are practices from my tradition where visions are part of how we explore. Now, I'm not going to take you to my places of indigenous sacred worship or ritual, but I can give you a little taste of a practice. This is a practice from my grandma's tradition. She was a curandera, a healer, and a devout Catholic. This practice is critical for us to better understand ourselves, to meet our future self. Y'all ready to go to Magical Place? It's the last thing I got. Go ahead and close your eyes, everyone, including faculty. Take a deep breath in and out. Take another deep breath in, deep breath out. Remember to ground yourself where you are. Relax your body. Feel your feet touching the floor. I want you to see yourself in a room. And in this room, you see a mirror with a chair in front of it. Imagine yourself walking to sit down in that chair. As you sit down in this chair, staring back across from you in this mirror is your future self in 10 years. I want you to see your future self because you are getting ready for a special day. You are clothing yourself. Notice the way in 10 years you have changed. Notice the change in the color of your hair, if you have any. Notice the wrinkles in your forehead, around your eyes, around your lips. Notice how your style may have changed. What are you wearing? This is an important day, so remember, you got dressed for an important day. As you look into this mirror at your 10-year future self, see them smiling at you. This slightly older, more distinguished version of you is smiling. They are so proud of you. They are smiling and proud of you not because of what you did on this day 10 years prior, but because of the person who's sitting in front of them. They are proud of what you're getting ready for that day. You have worked hard for this day. You have labored for this day. You have loved for this day. Take just a moment to imagine what it is you are getting ready for in 10 years. That 2033 version of yourself who's smiling at you, what are they getting ready for on that day? Take one last look in the mirror. The smile is big. And I want you to see that 10-year in the future self. Say to you, I love you. I am proud of you. You did it. Take one more deep breath in, deep breath out, and return to this room as you are ready. This is a joyous day, absolutely. But that 10-year older self looking back at you, lovingly, grateful, because they are proud of who you are. When that person asks that stupid question, as soon as this is all done, what are you going to do next? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What that future self, I hope, is no longer a stranger to you. You are who we are waiting for. You are my Miriam. I will not move as long as it takes for you to heal so I can follow you. I want to say to all of you, I love you so much. You have done incredible work today. You have viewed your leadership not as a list of credentials, but as recognition of the community you are accountable to. You have seen yourself into the future and fell in love with that person, not because you are a theologian or a pastor or a scholar, a writer, religious leader, social worker, educator, preacher, faculty member, dean, or the many vocations that you will take up. But because the person looking back at you in that mirror is a sacred being, someone you can call beloved, someone who calls you beloved, grateful to be in your presence. May the God above me, the divine below me, the spirits around me, the Holy Mother of our ancestors, and the sacred of our descendants watch over you, love you all, and call you to life. I love you all so very much. Congratulations again.